Welcome to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends, the podcast where we explore life, career, relationships, and pop culture through a Christian conservative perspective. Each episode, we dive into deep topics that matter most to us women, from navigating your career with grace and confidence to watering meaningful relationships grounded in faith. We're here to empower you to embrace your femininity and stand firm in your beliefs. We'll also tackle the latest in pop culture, discussing how they align or clash with our values. Let's uncover the truth and encourage each other to live boldly and authentically. So whether you're at home or on your commute, get ready for some fabulous conversations. Grab your teacup, pour yourself some tea. Come on, girlies, we're changing culture. The views expressed on this podcast are our own and do not reflect our employers. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. You're listening to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory.
I'm Elise.
And we are changing culture and bringing back traditional values. Hello, Elise. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you? How has your week been?
My week has been great. Honestly, it's starting to get warm and lovely here. So That's good for restaurant business because it means people will actually leave their house. So it's been a great week at work. I've made some good money. My goal is to finish the manuscript for my book by the end of the month. I've been like every day, I'm like putting down as many words as I can.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully. So it's a lot of work. I have not been getting enough sleep, but I haven't been like deprived either. It's just less than what women need according to recent studies. So, it's pros and cons. It's exciting to be working on that more consistently finally, and then it's like, but it's actually a lot of work.
That's awesome. And you said you're going to go traditional publishing.
I am not totally sure yet. I'm not really gonna spend a lot of time, I don't think, querying like a mainstream publisher, like one of the big publishing names, because they just get so much traffic.
Yeah.
I kind of already have ideas of what I want for this book in the release, like as far as a date, and I want my sister to design the cover, and like a lot of traditional publishers, they have their system and they're not super willing to like work with you on what you want,
Yeah.
And I'm not really willing to like give up the rights to my story,
Yeah.
So there are some small publishers that are like author owned and very focused on like authors retaining their rights and being very flexible and like working with you. And so I might submit it to them and see if they're interested in it, because it would be nice to not have to cover all the expenses and everything myself. But if not, then I would just go totally indie. So if you're with a small publisher, that they still kind of consider that like indie, but either that or like truly just self-published. So we'll see what happens. I am just going to be flexible at this point and see what the best opportunity ends up being, So
that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Wow. I mean, yeah, that's good. So you really will have it out by the end of the year.
Unless something happens and I really cannot,
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm doing everything I can to stick with that deadline, because I think it's doable. It's just that writing a book is hard. So
yeah, trust me, I know.
Yeah, I'm so excited that all the core group is back in
Yeah.
Don't have to compete with for the spots in our writing group. We've locked it down. We're ready to go.
Yeah, I after we hang up, I'm going to finish the book I'm reading, and then I'm going to try to start typing for this week. I want to submit it by what's today? Thursday. I want to submit it by Friday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad that the writing group has grown a lot in a year. Seriously.
So much.
So I'm proud of us.
Yeah. I don't want to say that we, the women, are responsible for growing this writing critique group, but we are.
We are.
People come to see us. They come to hear our thoughts, to get our feedback.
We bring in the people. I mean, the guys, before we got there, didn't even know we're like each other's last names. Like, they just were so... I asked James once, like, where did so-and-so work? And he's like, I don't know. And they've known each other for a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we kind of brought it to life. But yeah, okay, cool. So sounds like you've had a good productive. It's out, even though not as much sleep, especially with the time change.
Oh, yeah.
That is really kicking my butt. I actually am really, like I said, I'm trying to go to bed by like 8:30 tonight. So yeah, that time change is kicking my butt. But yeah, and then for me, I'm trying to think of like what have I done this week. Oh, I will say this upcoming weekend, and you're gonna be there too. I'm doing a murder mystery party. I am so excited. It's gonna be so fun. We have like, it's themed. I got it from Amazon. I'll post pictures and link everything for those interested.
You should.
And I'm so excited for that. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be, I don't know, and I've always wanted to do one. And I mentioned it last year. They ignored me, but then, eventually people come around. So
Nah, I bought a dress, which I
Oh, you bought a dress?
I did. I bought a dress because I have a very specific, when you do these murder mystery parties, you get a character and you get like the list, like how you should kind of dress and how you should kind of act. So I had a very specific image in mind, and I was like, okay, I don't have anything like that, and I would like to have that dress, like outside of the party. I would like to own it. So I ordered one. I tried it on. It's perfect. I know what shoes I'm gonna wear. I know what makeup I'm gonna do. I am pumped. This is gonna be my event. Like,
oh my gosh,
I am coming for blood, and hopefully not literally, but I'm looking forward to it, like, a lot.
Yay. And so I give everybody their characters. I literally was just like, it's so random. I didn't have any rhyme or reason, just because, for the most, like, fun, like, to make it the most fun.
Yeah.
So there's like no rhyme or reason. So I hope everybody likes their characters. And then I don't know who the murderer is, which I'm really excited about. So I get to play too. I thought I would know, but in the booklet it says like, don't look at anybody else's booklet. Nobody's going to know. So
that's awesome.
That's going to be fun. Yeah. Yeah. So it's 10 people, 8 characters plus the person. So 2 people are going to be like one character. I guess like split person or like twins. Think of it as like twins.
Yes.
But yeah. So that's what I'm doing this upcoming weekend. This week I didn't really do much. Talk with someone for some really cool things coming up in TOG in the next couple of months. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like tease something. It won't be for months. It won't be for months. But yeah, some cool things are coming up.
Keep your eyes out, folks.
Yes. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let me pull up our story.
Okay. Do 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 do.
Okay, so the first story. Actually, which story? We only have 2 stories. This is like a mini episode. What story do you want to talk about first? You can pick.
Well, I mean, both of them sound interesting, but maybe let's talk about the case with the missing person, since I don't think there will be as much to like break down there,
Yeah, well, actually there will be, because I have a question. So, let's do that one first, because that's kind of top of mind anyway for a lot of people. So, for those that do not know, a young girl, Sadiska, she's a UPenn student. She went missing in the Dominican Republic when she was on vacation for spring break. So, one second as I call.
There we go.
All right, so there we go. So I'm going to read to you the article, and this is from New York Post. So this is some of the latest information. The FBI has joined the frantic search for the University of Pittsburgh student Sudiksha Kananaki. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to call her. Well, I'm just going to try to avoid saying her name, so I don't want to mispronounce it. The investigation confirms that the disappearance occurred after 4:15 a.m. on March 6th, at which the time the missing woman and her foreign companions were captured on surveillance cameras just meters away from entering the beach area. The search for her, an Indian citizen and permanent U.S. resident, entered its 5th day on Tuesday. The pre-med student was on the spring break vacation with her friends from the University of Pittsburgh when she disappeared on Pittsburgh. What did I say? Pittsburgh. I did. Pittsburgh when she disappeared on Thursday. She and several friends were at the beach Wednesday before most of the group called it a night and headed back to their hotel, leaving the young woman on the sand alone with another guest. I'm not going to say his name because I feel that's weird. Just because of how things are, but you can read the article. At the Caribbean resort, according to local reports that cited authorities. The gentleman, 24, who traveled to the Dominican Republic from Iowa, gave authorities 3 different accounts of what happened after the two were alone on the beach. First telling cops he threw up from the roof surf and went back to shore, but asked if she was okay, report said. And the second, he alleged that he felt sick to his stomach and left the water, last seeing the missing woman in knee-deep surf before he passed out. And lastly, he told authorities he saw her walking along the shore before he passed out on the sand. Police have not said if they suspect foul play. Despite his cooperation with authorities, Dominican President Luis Abinader said that the gentleman's accounts worried authorities. We're concerned, he said Monday during his weekly meeting with the press, quote, all government agencies are searching because the last information we have from the last person who was with the young woman, what he says according to the reports, is that a wave while on the beach crashed into them, end quote. So before we have this conversation, I want to say I am a consumer of true crime content, and I try to do it ethically. Am I perfect? No. But I do try to make sure, like, especially when there's cases like this is happening in real time, to be respectful of everybody who's involved and not to be, I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen online about, like, the 4 Iowa students, like, on TikTok, people are just saying the most outlandish stuff. And, like, I just don't want to be one of those people that's just like, well, what if she was kidnapped by aliens? You know, like, you're not adding to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to talk about, make you guys aware of what's going on. People are talking about it. And then I want to talk about something surrounding the topic. So the main reason I wanted to talk about, and I think we're probably going to have different answers on this, which is good, good conversation. Sure. If we always agreed, it wouldn't be as good. So the overall question, one thing that a lot of people are discussing is whether the friends people are saying they weren't her friends because they let her go off with this random guy that they just met. Some people were saying that. Some people were like, well, if she wanted, she's on vacation. You kind of dream to meet someone on vacation. Why wouldn't you let her go off? And then some people are saying they're just kids. They didn't, or like, it wasn't intentional. And another part, well, she this and that. So anyway, the question of the matter is, and I guess I want to ask you and I want to ask the audience, and I think this is something good to ask in your friend groups. I'm actually going to ask some of my friend groups this question too.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think it's time to intervene with your friend in situations like this? So the scenario I'll just give, you guys are on vacation, a really cute guy comes up and wants to hang out with you guys, and then he might want to take you or take your friend out to walk along the shoreline, just talking, nothing, naughty, not even taking you back to the room or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Just want to spend some time together out in public or whatever. Where do you think the line is for you to intervene? Say, hey, you know what? No, I don't think you should go. Or be like, hey girl, like, he's cute, like, enjoy yourself, what's the etiquette you think around that?
I mean, I think if it sounds like they were possibly like drinking, at least this guy was that she ended up hanging out with on the beach. And so for me, it's like if somebody is that intoxicated, you know what I'm saying, to where they're throwing up, or even if they've only had like a few, maybe just a few too many, they don't have to be like falling down. I'm like, okay, your judgment is impaired. I'm probably not going to leave you alone with somebody that you don't know. But I mean, I don't think that there's any blame really to be placed on like her 4 friends from her university that she was traveling with, because it sounds like they were in like a beachfront hotel. They were all out on the beach and everyone else just decided they wanted to go up to the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a chance they could even have seen the beach from their room. So they're thinking, right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're not thinking about it.
It's not like, oh, this guy wants to pick her up and take her out clubbing in the city, and we're in a foreign country and whatever, like, so, but if somebody is not able to make sound judgments for themselves, then I think I would be like, okay, well, at least, like, let's share your location, like, what time are you thinking you're going to be back, so I can be looking out for you, like, I'll probably just read a book and wait up and make sure you get back okay, I don't think that there's a ton of situations in which I would be like, absolutely not, unless they were trying to split off and like literally get in a car and drive and go away somewhere, you know what I'm saying, like, but in the situation where we're on the beach, you just want to stay on the beach and I want to go back to the room and change out of my swimsuit or whatever, it's like, okay, sure, like, just when should I be looking for you to come back,
and
because I don't think this is something that they necessarily could have. You know what I'm saying?
Predicted, yeah, I agree.
You can't predict it. Maybe if somebody had stuck around, you could have prevented it. But she's an adult, you know. Like,
Yeah,
it's gonna be her call what she does. You know.
yeah. And my thing is, we really don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It really could be a wave. It truly could be like a wave took her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not good. Anybody listening, it's really not good to be out on the beach that late. The waves can be wherever you are, no matter what beach you're at. The water is unpredictable. It can be very dangerous. So, you know, I would avoid late at night swimming in the ocean. I think that's just a rule to have.
Yeah.
So it really could have been that. It could have been foul play. We don't know. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is like, it's weird to me people are blaming her friends because, you know, they're adults, A, and then B, you don't expect these things to happen. And
Right.
like you said, like, it's just on the beach. Now, I don't think, from my personal experience, I don't even really think like necessarily getting in the car situation is a negative either. I think
Mhm.
that, you know, use discernment. Like, if you really feel as if this person is, like, if he was doing things maybe your friend just didn't notice or something like that and it made you uncomfortable, okay. But I do think, like, you know, you're on vacation.
But it
What a
is
fun
also
way to meet someone.
at this time though, when she disappeared, it's after 4 a.m. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Well,
saying?
oh,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
part
I'm not
of it.
saying her specific. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
now I'm just talking hypothetically, you're on a trip with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could be, you know, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
when
At a reasonable
dinner.
hour, I would, yeah. My answer was
Yeah.
somewhat framed by like it's the middle of the night. We just got back from the disco club, whatever.
Okay,
Like,
yeah. And he wants
you
to go
know.
to another place afterwards. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And in that instance, I had a friend tell me this once in college. She said, sometimes it's good to just go home because then the
Mhm.
guy's going to want more. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good thing to
Yeah.
remember. Sometimes it's just good to go home. You have a good night. Sometimes it's good just to have a good night. And then the next day, if he texts you, hey, it was really nice meeting you. Let's get coffee or something like that. Then you won. You don't have to always keep it going.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, you guys let me know. What do you think? Where do you think like it's time to tell your friends? Have you been
Mhm.
on trips with your friends and your friend has gone off with a guy? And I want to also preference. I don't mean like, it doesn't even have to be anything sexual. It could just be like, you made a friend. I don't
Yeah.
know. So I just want to say that too, because as I'm saying, I'm like, I bet people are thinking like more than I'm meaning. I don't even mean anything too crazy.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, so let me know. Let me know what you think. Okay, so our last story that we can talk about more.
Okay. I
Go
know
ahead.
you don't want to name the guy, but do you think he's suspicious? Do you think it's justified that they made him a person of interest?
They haven't made him a person of interest, I
The
thought.
article said they did. Yeah, they
But
named
they
him
don't suspect foul play.
but they just named him as a person of interest. So I guess that would mean like
That's
he may
interesting.
know more than he's letting on.
Okay.
Because I mean, like telling different versions of the story is suspicious to me.
Yeah. And I think it is suspicious. It is suspicious, but I can also see like a world where like he was drunk, he saw her disappear, and he
Yeah.
didn't know what to do, so he just freaked out and then he ended up passing out. I'm not saying that's okay and that's good. I'm just saying I can also see a world where like literally all that happened and he really didn't do anything. But like
Yeah.
I just, you know, a normal person is going to go get like, you're going to go tell somebody. But then, you know, he's passing out because he's drunk. So, like,
Yeah, my thing is, I was thinking kind of the same thing about like, oh, maybe he couldn't remember, like his memory was blurred because he was under the
yeah,
influence. But then I feel like you would say that, you know what I'm saying? The police
yeah,
called you in and questioned you multiple times. Say, you know what? Like, I am so sorry. I'm really trying to remember because I want her to be found, but
yeah,
my memory is unreliable because I was drinking. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't feel
yeah,
like you're
yeah,
like, oh yeah, I was in the water with her, or I had just gotten out, or oh yeah, I saw her on the beach. Like she was out of the water too. You know, like
yeah,
that to me is weird. Why you're trying so hard to like, even if nothing happened and you just don't remember, like why are you making up a story to make it?
yeah. He's
Like,
trying to distance himself as much as possible.
yeah.
That's also the other part too. They're saying that he's very cooperative,
Mm,
but he's telling different stories. It's just,
yeah.
it seems like a mess. I saw a video of her mom and dad, and like it made me cry. So sad. I hate this so much for them. I hate this for everybody involved. unless someone did something, then I don't hate it for you. I hope you get swift justice.
Yeah, so I am hopeful that they'll, at least find some answers. I feel like in his answers where he's trying to I feel like he's trying to make the association between her and like the ocean.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's maybe trying to get investigators to think that she drowned at sea. Because in that case, I mean, they can find the body, they can figure out where the currents were that night and try and trace and see where she would wash up if she did drown.
Yeah.
But I feel like if something happened and he took her somewhere else or whatever, like he's trying to like indicate the ocean, like, hey,
yeah,
look in there, But I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not trying to say like he's guilty or he's not, but it's just a couple things snagged my interest of like, that's an interesting detail,
No, that's a good
Whatever.
detective work. She was last seen with him walking toward the ocean. At least that's what they've told us. That's another thing too we have to remember.
Right.
They won't tell us everything.
Yeah.
So she was last seen walking toward the ocean. I don't think they saw him, or they didn't see her or him coming back. So I also think that's interesting. So, I mean, yeah, that's good detective work, Elise.
We'll just have to hopefully wait and see. Hopefully good news.
Yeah, I really hope so. Yeah, let's do the next story.
Yeah.
I'm not good at transitions. This is from the Daily Mail. Fitness and sorry, y'all. Fitness influencer Natalie Barnett attacked online for refusing to allow trans women into her female-only gym after U-turning and saying, of course, they were welcome. The founder of a female-only gym has become the center of social media storm after saying of a social media storm. They didn't have a. After saying her workout space won't allow transgender women entry. Fitness influencer and model Natalie Barnett, 25, devised the idea behind the Girl Spot Gym, which is due to open soon in Wandsworth, South London, after experiencing gym-based sexual harassment at the hands of men. When Barrett, who boasts a combined 2.5 million followers on social media, first started raising funds for the space in 2021, she indicated that she would be open to trans women. So she posted a video, and I'll also remember to link the video, explaining that she wants to have a women's only space, and that will not include trans women, because she also wants to have like someone to talk about PCOS to come in and teach people how to like exercise for their cycle. It's actually really, I mean, it sounds like an amazing gym. Like I am totally like, I'm for this gym. It sounds great. Well, there has been a huge backlash on social media, but I feel like there also has been a lot of people standing up for her and supporting her.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts?
Well, it sounds like most of the backlash is because she started fundraising and like marketing the gym as somewhere that would be open to women, people, anyone who identifies as a woman.
Yeah.
And then just like recently said, no, it's only biological women. So honestly, even though I do support a gym that's only open to biological women, I understand the philosophy behind this is a gym for women that have been victimized by men, who have been attacked in gyms or other public spaces. Like this is the only place that they can feel safe, and we want to keep it to those who were born female. I think that's her right. But I can see why people would feel like betrayed or whatever if they've been supporting her or donating or helping her to gain traction under kind of a false premise, of like her. It sounds like her statement was very much like, oh, I don't see a difference between trans women and biological women. It's just, it's all, we all identify as women. So like, of course my gym will be open, So that's a very different message to, no, we're keeping it to biological women only,
Yeah.
I can see why that would be like upsetting to people who potentially were interested or excited about a gym where they could go as like a trans individual and work out, especially because a lot of trans individuals have also suffered abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think most people that identify as female or male when they were born the opposite, like, are trying to be, disingenuous or anything like that. So I can understand it being like, hey, you kind of said one thing and now you're kind of saying another. What's the deal? We raised 22,000 pounds for you, But I think she has the right to do with her business what she will. And I for sure understand wanting to have a space that's just like biological legal women. I don't know what the UK stance is on like legally changing your gender, but if I had to guess, I would say they probably can do that. So, it would be difficult. I saw in the article, they were like, it's difficult to enforce. What are you going to do? You're going to take every woman that looks masculine and be like, okay, now we got to make sure that you're really a woman down there, So it seems complicated in a lot of different ways.
So there's a lot of things that you said that I have comments on, but I want to comment on that first. I think that it's like, it's kind of icky to be like, well, I know I'm not welcome, so I'm going to come anyway, and you can't say anything to me. So, like, I don't know. I feel like
you don't think it would be an issue?
Yeah, I think realistically it's probably not going to be as big of an issue as I feel like there probably will be trans activists that will come to cause a scene for sure. But like in the everyday non-activist, just the average like trans, I don't see that happening because like why would you come if it's, for lack of a better word, you're not wanted, and eventually you're going to be in locker rooms and changing, and it's going to become like, I don't know. I just think that that's, and like, I don't know. I think that's such a, yes, how are you going to check? Sure. But I think we don't live in a high trust society anymore, but like in a high trust society, like we would just, okay, this is the rule. This is her gym, a private gym that she's created. She doesn't want trans there, then I won't be there type of situation. Like, so I want to say that. The second thing is she posted so you made the comment about people who donated. So as of until March 9th, 2025, which is when she made the comment, there had only been 89 donations from the public, and the donations averaged $13.
Okay.
So the total amount from the public outside of her friends and family were $1,190. She can give all those people that money back. I think that, like, I definitely understand feeling like the rug got pulled from under you if you have that ideology, if you believe in that. But from the conservative perspective, I think that's great that she, over the years, it sounds like she's learned and grown. And like, I personally, like, if I could, I would support that. I'd support the gym. I'd go to the gym if I could.
Yeah.
Because I think that this just kind of shows like how people grow, and you have new information when you're presented with new information, when you want to become better, when you are, and I think we should, those of us who are conservative and believe like in women only spaces, I think we should be like celebrating this, like, all right, she changed her mind. And honestly, if I had the 1,000 to give, €1,000, I'd help her out and be like, just give everybody their money back, I'll give you the difference. But I think somebody already did, because she got a lot more traction, and like, because people are really supportive of it, and like some of the stuff people were saying was actually like insane and like really out there. But I do understand where you're coming from with the idea of like the rug being pulled from underneath you, if you really thought, if you were supporting it because of that, because you're like, oh, we'll allow trans. So like, I understand where they're coming from, but I think she apologized. She explained herself and she apologized. And I think that, to me, that's that. She should just end it there.
Yeah.
But I don't know what she's gonna do. I hope she doesn't like back out. But
no,
we'll
I hope
see.
not either. Yeah, because I think that the part of the danger of just saying the talking points that you're getting used to hearing is then you end up in situations like this where it's like, oh, I'm not saying that's what she did. Maybe her mind did change, but alternatively, it's like, of course, nobody like, I don't hate trans people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, of course, my gym would be open to anyone, but because that just feels like the thing you're supposed to say. And then you get down the road and you're thinking about practically, okay, women that have been sexually assaulted, or, we want to do like fertility. Oh my gosh, I keep knocking my microphone down. I'm sorry, guys. We want to do these things that are very much targeted towards biological women. And how is that going to incorporate itself into a space that's not exclusive to biological women? So I kind of feel like maybe this could have been avoided if she had sat down and taken the time to come up with her philosophy independent of the public talking points or public opinion.
Cultural sways of the world. Yeah.
because I think this is probably the way it should have been from the very beginning, you know? And it sounds like has been her vision for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just once you say something and people start championing that, it's hard to course correct, you know?
Yeah.
And rededicate yourself to what you feel is your mission, you know, which is to
Yeah.
support women and give them a space where they can train hard, you know, and also be totally comfortable and confident in the environment that they're in, because a lot of women have experiences in gyms that are despicable, you know, or just
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And if this gym was here in the States somewhere close to me, I would also be going there, you know, because
Yeah.
it sounds like a fun time, like a
It
great
sounds fun. Like,
community center, you know, almost.
I saw a tweet. Someone was like, you know, this sold me. I was like, she's got my support.
Mm-hmm.
Someone tweeted, or she tweeted pictures. Let me find it. I just had it up. So I was trying to
Was it
find that
like
other
all
tweet.
pink?
Yeah. How'd you guess? It was all pink or something like that. And then someone was like, why do you have to make it pink? And she said, because pink is fun and girly. Why would I not? Something like that. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
there you have it. She's my girl. Whatever you say, I support. I'm down. Whatever you need from me, I am down.
Was that the one that you shared on your story about, like, we've been trained as adult women in a society to see pink as like childish or
Yes, yeah.
like too feminine to the point where we can't be taken seriously if we're doing pink? And I fully agree with that. I'm like, I feel like that's one of those things that is like, oh, that's too girly. And I'm sorry, I am a girl. Like, what do you mean it's too girly? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like that phrase, run like a girl. Like, I am a girl, and if I choose to run, I'm running like a girl.
Yeah.
That's not a derogatory thing to say. That's just okay, you know?
Yeah.
So I applaud her. I think a pink gym would be fun, you know, like pink isn't necessarily my favorite color, like if I had to pick out of all the colors, but like I would like it'd be fun. It's different, you know? Like so.
Yeah, I've never necessarily had a negative interaction at the gym when it comes to guys. Actually, I'm one of those girls that would like to be approached, like if you ever saw me. But I don't like to go because we'll go with, like, I would like to go to an all women's one for obviously the aesthetic, and then also like it is like awkward. Like, no one's ever said anything to me, but it is awkward with guys there. I don't know why. It just feels like uncomfortable.
Probably because if you're not super confident being in the gym, it feels like, and it seems like guys are, it can be like, they know what they're doing, I don't, it's obvious, and they're gonna just be judging me this whole time.
Which is, I know, is illogical because nobody is looking at anyone else at the gym when they are at the gym because they're focusing on themselves, but it still feels a little bit like awkward and uncomfortable. So I would definitely like a women's gym, but I just want to make it clear, like, I've never had any incident, and I would be one of those girls that would like if you saw me, but I doubt that because I look atrocious when I'm sweating and I'm like it's not a cute look. So anyway, that's really the show. I just really want to put an episode out. It had been a minute. And those were two topics that I really wanted to talk about. Elise, is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to share?
You know, I think I've shared most of what I have to share.
Okay.
But maybe it would be good just everyone to like keep your mind on in prayers, you know, for the girl that's missing and for her friends, you know, that had to be there and wake up to that or whatever, you know, like that she gets found and everyone who's involved can handle it the best way possible, you know, and be efficient, and, you know, anyone who might be responsible, that they're held accountable.
Yeah, good point. And let's end on that. If you enjoyed this quickest tea everything I've ever done, if you enjoyed it, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the gym no longer allowing trans, as well as trans people, as well as do you think, like, when do you think you should tell your friend, hey, let's just go home? And in what scenarios? Comment on YouTube, Spotify, leave a review on Apple, tell all your friends, share this, have the discussion with your friends. Do you guys have like a word where it's like, hey, like, I'm uncomfortable, help me leave? Like, what are, maybe think about that when you're going out and things like that. Like, what are your words, stuff like that? Have some communication ahead of time. I guess that's it. Have a good day, night, evening, however, wherever you're listening.
Bye.